are struggling during uncertain times, I like to share 3 tips to support them. Hi, I'm Rosie, the founder of Inner Brilliance Coaching, and I help my clients transition to new jobs, new relationships, and to get healthier. And what I notice is that my clients sometimes feel like their lives are out of control. And this can happen during uncertain times, especially when we really feel like these uncertain times are outside of our control. Let's say there's economic strife or some sort of change, like a buyout of your company, something that you didn't instigate. And it's understandable that that could feel unsettling, but there are ways to get regrounded. So I want to share those 3 tips. Number one, connect with a community, whether it's a community you're already familiar with and you just need to reconnect with them, or maybe there's a different community that you could find that supports you. Let's say you're in the middle of a job transition. Perhaps there's a networking group that you can align with and get to know different people. Maybe they have classes you could take. It could be really useful so you don't feel alone. Tip number 2 is work on tasks or projects or something you've always wanted to do and maybe you hadn't had time. So let's say you're in a job transition and you have a little bit more downtime than typical. Is there a class you could take to learn a new skill? And that could possibly help you down the road. Or better yet, it can really energize you because you're doing something you've always wanted to do or that you really enjoy. I know as a business owner, there's a long list of things I'd always love to do. So during downtime, I could pick up one of those projects and it would feel so good to get that done and off my plate. Third tip is ask yourself, what if things worked out? I know our brains are wired to go towards negativity, and again, that's understandable. So you have to consciously choose to look at options and possibilities. When you do that, you start finding evidence for how things can work out. I personally experienced this so many times, and one of the biggest moments was back in the day, a couple decades ago, when I started my coaching business. The recession had hit, and I thought, this is not a great time to start a business where people aren't familiar with it in the Midwest, perhaps. And I thought, this isn't great. And then I started asking, what if this did work out? And I had heard how so many companies actually started during a recession, one of them being Starbucks. Now, obviously, I'm not Starbucks, but it was very encouraging. So I just kept going, taking steps toward my goals. And I'm so grateful I did. It obviously paid off for me. So hopefully, this encourages you to find ways to move forward when we feel like our lives are out of our control. These are ways that you can take back your power. So I hope you find these tips useful and you feel energized to take some steps and feel like you're supported and not alone. In fact, feel free to include any comments or questions. I'd be happy to support you any way I can.